Welcome to Work Reborn, live from Barcelona, brought to you by Lenovo. Work Reborn is a research series surveying over 600 senior IT leaders worldwide to uncover the key to creating a productive digital workplace. Last report, we talked about using AI to work smarter and stay safer. Now we're moving from AI readiness to AI reality, where technology and human connection are reshaping how we work and thrive in this new era of work, or as we like to call it, Work Reborn. Let's get started. Hello and welcome to the Lenovo Work Reborn podcast. How are you doing today?
I'm very good. How are you today?
Thank you so much for joining me. Would you mind introducing yourself, who you are and what you do?
Yeah, so I'm Matt Clay. I work for an HBC. I'm the CIO for that organization.
So Matt, we had a bit of a cheeky conversation about how sports and technology are combined. And while you are not a super football fan, I think you can still respect the fact that behind the scenes of FIFA, which is a partner that we're working with, there's a lot of operation like magic that happens and technology that's needed in order to support an organization like that. And so I thought we'd just have a little bit of a chat about, how those intertwine.
Okay.
So part of what makes a great team, I think, is, well, we could get into a lot about what makes a great football team, right? But I do think a great coach is the head and the kind of the highlight of what makes a team great. And I think a great coach doesn't just manage the players. They anticipate, they motivate, and they really adapt strategy in real time. And I think in many ways, that's what IT leadership looks like today. So how do you see your role shifting from managing technology to coaching people through change?
I think that's a really good question. There are lots of synergies in that sense. IT today has changed a lot. Before it was very much around the technical aspects and the equipment and understanding how to use applications and looking at how to manage the resources to meet certain demands, but missing the point that it's actually a service function for the business, an enabler for the business to grow. So my role, particularly within my organization, is trying to get our technical teams to have a business thinking head on them. They need to understand how to operate, what those benefits of actually using technology are to help the business achieve their goals. A good example is we can spend an awful lot of money on technology, but if you can't actually do anything with it, it's a bit pointless, it's a bit irrelevant. So trying to get people to think just outside of what does that technology do, but how does that help the business function? So really it's trying to bring the organization as a whole, and it's a two-way street. It's getting the business to understand what actually can technology do for them. So it's coaching from two sides, because you're looking at that benefit, that operation, but how it can be used.
You bring up a great point, because another issue that we've seen through our Work Reborn research is kind of this issue of fragmentation when it comes to these many apps and tools just being put everywhere. Like you said, it's widgets. Like, oh, I have an idea and this thing could do that. But the implementation and really like the ability to streamline the tech stack, I think has kind of gotten away from us a little bit. What have you done in your organization to kind of like tackle that type of fragmentation?
So that really sort of lends to the fact that we've had very old technology in the organization, and we've embarked on quite a radical transformation program. So it's looking at the architecture of what's there today. And as you say, it's very fragmented, very disorganized, very old. And really looking to the forward state is what can we use more effectively and more efficiently. So we've actually gone down a slightly different route with the organization, and we're looking to consolidate the architecture into sort of key pillars of delivery. So we're simplifying the data, we're simplifying the operating model that supports that, but also we're simplifying how the business processes work to become more efficient. We've ended up with a really old world which has got lots of manual processes. And by replacing that with a much more streamlined, and I dare I use the word agile environment, it's given the opportunity for the business to be much more flexible. So it's taken away probably 30, 35 different application sets and replacing it with 3.
Tell me a little bit about when it comes to digital transformation within your organization. Where are you guys currently at in your journey, and what are your plans for the future?
Well, that's another good question, because that is right in the sweet spot of where we are. We started a program a couple of years ago. We probably didn't really embark on it in the best way that we should have done. we took time to do a bit of a pause, a bit of a reset, but we've engaged with a really good SI to help us, and we've restarted that journey. So we're now sort of 3 or 4 months into it. It's a 2-year program. It's a significant investment for the organization, but it is a complete shift of the tech stack from what is the old world to a cloud-based SaaS solution. I could mention the product name, but you'll probably get upset with it. So we'll just move on from
skim
that.
over that.
We'll skim it. It's really another product. But it is giving a real opportunity for us to embark on years and years of data that's just been locked away and we're unable to use it. So it gives us a real advantage on what we're moving to.
For the leader that is kind of in the phase where you were at a couple years ago, where they started but then kind of had to stop and they need to be re-motivated, what advice or inspiration would you give them to keep going? Because I think that the journey is necessary at this point.
I think be brave and recognize you should stop. If you're so far down a journey and there's a sort of a resistance to actually change track because you've spent so much time, probably quite a bit of money, a lot of capital with the business in terms of your credibility, rests in the work that you've done. But if it's not working, or it's not actually going to give the benefit you need, be brave and stop, because you are much better placed to have that credibility and trust rebuilt by accepting that you've got something right and you've actually reset and put forward a plan that's much more credible.
I couldn't have said it better. That's very well said. And to kind of end the conversation here, if you had to place AI as in your FIFA team as the role, what would it play? Striker, goalkeeper, or coach, or some other position?
I think I would say it's on the bench, ready to go on as a substitute, because where we are, and it comes back to the position of the organization, we are 30 years plus behind the ball. We will be moving to something that's much more enabled to take advantage of AI. Our data set as is today is not the cleanest of things, and Gartner has gone on very carefully about data needs to be in a good place and need to mature. Once our platform's in place, AI will absolutely be front and center of what we deliver, whether it's agentic AI, whether we're looking at it from a language model and data analysis perspective. The 3 pillars of the applications we're putting in have embedded AI as part of it. So we will be moving into that arena. I would not put it in today. Okay, we have Copilot and stuff like that, but I wouldn't be putting it wholesale today because it just won't give the benefit that's needed.
So we have this thing called Work Reborn. What does Work Reborn mean to you? Future of work, new life, like the new workplace, like what does that mean to you?
I think having something that is exciting and vibrant and flexible gives us the opportunity to attract the right people. So that's what it means to me.
Exciting, vibrant, and flexible. I think a good sports team has the same energy as well too. So
particularly when it's rugby, because football is
right.
Really,
only when it's rugby.
Just only when it's rugby.
Well, thank you so much, Matt, for joining
Pleasure.
me on this quick conversation. If anyone is interested in learning more about the Work Reborn report, make sure you download it by clicking the link in the description below. Or if you're watching us on YouTube, a QR code will magically appear on the screen here. Scan it and grab a copy for yourself. So, Les, thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thanks for tuning in to Work Reborn, powered by Lenovo. Lenovo is turning readiness into reality, empowering people, technology, and businesses to move forward together. If you've enjoyed this episode, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel or follow us on Apple or Spotify to continue the conversation on how we're bringing new life to the modern workplace. Thanks for watching.